If your Costco coffee jumps 30% by May, what is your plan? You are not overpaying yet, but tariffs, droughts, and shipping delays are lining up to make it happen. Today, I will show you the 10 everyday items most at risk, starting with the one already creeping up about 15%.
So Elizabeth, what's Costco hoping to gain from this lawsuit?
Diane, what Costco wants is money that it's paying for those tariffs. The wholesale retailer says that it wants a full refund.
Costco suing the federal government. The retail giant's asking for a full refund if the U.S. Supreme Court strikes down President Trump's tariffs. The lawsuit is similar to other suits filed by companies challenging the legality of Trump's tariffs. The Supreme Court's expected to announce its ruling early next year.
Under this act that's been imposed by President Trump, the International Emergency Economic Powers Act, IEPA has been what it's called. And of course, we heard arguments earlier this fall in the Supreme Court under whether President Trump has the authority legally to impose tariffs under that act. So
we will confirm where the pressure is coming from, why Costco's usual price shield is thinning, and exactly what to stock: coffee, olive oil, nuts, chocolate, and more, plus smart storage so you actually save. The deadline is real. Beat it before your staples turn into splurges. Quick favor before we move on. If you appreciate this content, consider giving this video a like and subscribing to the channel. Believe it or not, more than 92% of viewers haven't subscribed yet. It's free and only takes a second, but it means the world to us. So did you subscribe already? Great, thank you so much for your support. Now back to the video.
Congress's job to put them in the first place. We don't know in this filing, Diane, exactly how much Costco has paid in tariffs, but you would imagine it's a pretty significant amount if they're putting this lawsuit out there. What Costco is saying is it wants to get money back once that decision is made, which we, as you say, do expect early next year. But keep in mind, Costco is one of several retailers that has done this. Retailers are saying that the president does not have the authority to impose these tariffs. We do know that the government has collected at least $90 billion in tariff revenues under this act so far this year, and that's money that it would need to go back to.
Costco is famous for holding the line, but May is where the shield starts to crack. The truth is, 3 slow-moving hits are lining up at once, and they land hardest on bulk staples. New import tariffs raise the floor. Drought-hit harvests starve the pipeline. Shipping stays clogged and pricey. One by one, those costs feed into the same cart. Let's start with why clubs get squeezed. Volume is their edge, until volume multiplies every fee. A small per pound jump on a cargo of nuts or shrimp sounds harmless. At warehouse sizes, it turns into a sting. When trucks miss windows and containers sit, the math gets worse. The bigger the load, the bigger the hit. Pass-through timing is the real kicker. Contracts roll over. Carriers reprice containers. Then seasonal demand lights up. Grills, road trips, teacher gifts, right as supply runs thinner. That's how May becomes a wall, not a rumor. You don't feel it all at once. It clicks in as new inventory replaces the old.
And Elizabeth, how is the Trump administration responding to this?
You know, what the Trump administration is saying, Diane, is that this shows how necessary these tariffs are. They point to the revenue that's coming in from tariffs, and they say this is proof that it's working to try to raise money for the federal government. Companies essentially try to figure out how to get that money back to companies that have paid them. The money is still being collected at this point, and Costco did say in this filing that is expected to make a payment to Customs and Border Protection later this month. And this is an argument we've heard President Trump regularly talk about how much money tariffs are bringing in. He often does inflate those numbers, talking about trillions of dollars when really we're looking at closer to 100 billion at least.
Watch the bakery case for your early tell. Croissants use 2 things that are climbing: butter and flour. When a 12-pack inches up around 15%, it is a flare. One pastry does not break a budget, but it flags the direction. Now zoom out to the pantry. Olive oil is tied to drought-choked harvests in Europe, then taxed on the way in. Coffee leans on Brazil and Vietnam, both stressed by heat and higher input costs.
So far this year, at an annual rate, it could continue to go up, especially with a lot of those tariffs still in place.
Cocoa is short, which puts chocolate on a higher rung fast, especially darker bars and chips. Produce feels the border. Tomatoes and avocados get stuck on inspections and permits. Delays show up as higher tags and empty slots. Imports in bulk, nuts, seafood, honey, catch tariffs fast. A tiny bump per pound balloons across a club-size bag or box. So May matters. Fees and freight reset into current inventory cycles now. You buy before that switch flips, and you lock today's price. Now let's move on to the tactical list, 10 buys and the storage moves that keep taste and cash intact. Which everyday Costco item jumps first, and how do you stock it without waste? Let's start with the bakery warning sign. Croissants are the tell. Input costs are climbing, so your move is simple. Grab a 12-pack, split it, and freeze in zip bags. Push out the air, double bag if your freezer runs frosty, and stash flat so they don't crush. Reheat straight from frozen in a low oven until the outside snaps and the center warms. The trap is freezer burn and that stale chew. The fix is tight wrap and a quick thaw, not a long counter sit. You keep the texture and sidestep the next price bump. Now let's move on to nuts. Tariffs and shipping from Asia are pushing costs. Buy extra bags and freeze them to stop rancidity in its tracks. Label the date and rotate front to back. Pull only what you'll eat in 2 weeks so the rest stays cold and fresh. Tomatoes are next. The import link is tight, so load canned diced, crushed, and sauce. Store them in a cool, dry spot. They anchor fast meals, soups, shakshuka, 5-minute pasta, when fresh prices spike or the shelf is bare. Chocolate follows the cocoa squeeze. Grab dark bars or baking chips. Keep them cool and dry. If they get a pale film, that bloom looks odd but is safe, and it melts out in baking. Honey is low drama, high payoff. Pick up an extra jug. It keeps for years. If it crystallizes, warm the container in a bowl of water and it goes smooth again. Seafood is feeling freight delays. Buy frozen shrimp or salmon now. Keep bags sealed, and thaw slowly in the fridge for clean texture, not mush. Olive oil is climbing. Snag a dark glass bottle, store cool and dark, and decant into a small bottle to limit air. Avocados ride the border checks. Buy firm, ripen in a paper bag, dice, and freeze with lemon for bowls and toast. Coffee is heating up. Get whole beans, store airtight, grind as needed. Eggs swing. When the price dips, buy 2. They hold for weeks, hard boil for fast protein. This is not hoarding. It is right-sizing your shelf life so the tariff clock doesn't set your budget. If this gave you something to chew on, hit like, subscribe and share it with someone who lives on olive oil and coffee. You are not buying more, you are buying earlier. Timing is the quiet lever. When the next reset hits, the cart total jumps, and you are stuck chasing it. A 2-week buffer of what you actually use blocks that jump. Canned tomatoes, coffee, and olive oil hold well when stored right, so they carry you past price spikes. Build that buffer today. Then tell us in the comments which aisle is moving first for you, coffee, oil, or eggs, and what you are seeing on the tags. Like and subscribe to help us keep the spotlight on the food industry's best-kept price shifts before they hit your cart.